Okay, our last group is the Center for Young Black Professionals, Ayeo Tugobo, Stephanie Lynch, Jordan Thorne, and Aishan Singh.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Welcome, thank you very much.
This afternoon, you have 5 minutes.
My name's Yao Togobo. I'm the programs manager for the CEE Center for Young Black Professionals. I'm here representing the executive director, Agapi Gisese, who sends her apologies for not being able to make it. I want to talk a little bit about the grant that we received. Every time I speak, I get a little bit self-conscious that I'm speaking with an English accent. But I want to pay tribute to the unit, Anti-Black Racism Unit in City Council. It is absolutely amazing for me to see that the work that they are doing and how it's influencing and impacting the community. Having done social work in the UK since the early 2000s, it was never a context where it was never a friendly context in where we could deliver social work from an authentic black perspective. So a lot of my experience working with black-led and black-focused initiatives came from a voluntary service perspective, where I figured that was the only way in which authentic work could be done. So coming over to Toronto and seeing how there's been a specific focus on developing black-led, black-focused organizations, boosting their capacity and giving workers the license and the comfortability to work with the community in an authentic way, for me has been absolutely amazing. And it's been that background, voluntary service sector background, that has enabled me to be employed as a paid professional within the CEE Center of Young Black Professionals. One of the grants that we received, the Black Leadership Grant, we decided to focus on the social services sector. We worked in partnership with the Harriet Tubman Community Organization, whereby we focused on 2 streams. The first stream was the certificate program. So the certificate program recognized that many black people who are working in the social services usually work in the front end. There's been a dearth of black presence within middle management and the executive level. So we wanted to be able to boost their capacity in order to deliver administration work and also assist them in systems navigations as well. So with that, we got a grant. We asked for a particular number for the grant. We didn't get what we asked for. We only got half of what we asked for. And the aim was to do 3 cohorts where we worked with 15 frontline workers in order to be able to boost their capacity. We were totally oversubscribed with people who wanted to boost their own accreditation in that demographic. So we ended up oversubscribing our course. So we had 75 people who participated, and it was only aim to have 45. And then we had a waiting list of another 100. So there's clearly a need and a thirst for people to want to boost their own credentials within that sector. Secondly, we did the 12-week social services course. Now, this was specifically for individuals who wanted to get into the social services sector, but for whatever reason, they didn't have the qualifications or the experience in order to get into entry-level positions. So we did a call out into the community, and we managed to do a 12-week program. It was a bespoke program, work from a black-focused curriculum, but also working with partners who are of different ethnic groups who are able to help accredit the young people. So they got different qualifications such as CPR, motivational training, mental health training, so that there would be no reason they could not now enter into the work course with the list of certificates that they've got. I want to give an example of one young member who would do social work just off her own back. Whereby she would go into the community, and because she realized there was certain members of the community who weren't going to proms because they just didn't have enough money. And so she would fund their own prom dresses off her own, with her own funds, literally do a call out to see who needs a prom dress. They would write a letter, and she would review the letters and see which letter most spoke to her heart, and literally pay for her to get a prom dress. She would buy the material, get the seamstress, and she was doing it off her own back, and she was wondering how to get into the social services sector. So she managed to be part of the program, and I'm hoping it had a massive effect in how she was going to progress within this sector. So that's a summary of what we've been able to do with the Black Leadership Grant. And again, we're very thankful, and we see it, this is critical, not only just for now, but for the future of the Black population who are coming up in Toronto.
It was right on 5 minutes. That's amazing.
I'm also a spoken word artist, so I'm used to that.
Questions? Councillor Carroll?
So this program, I'm sorry, I'm asking all these questions. This program, if it's that oversubscribed, it sounds like a program that needs to be happening, not using the micro grant model.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be instituted, it sounds like. You have 75 people a session and 100 people waiting outside the door. And that would probably happen again every year after.
I don't see why it would be any different. I mean, as much as the universities and the schools, educational institutions are incredibly important, there's also a recognition that oftentimes the curriculum does not speak to our needs, our history, and what we're after. So we end up seeking various different alternative curriculums in a way that speaks to our soul and speaks to our spirit. And oftentimes that isn't in the educational institutions, and I personally believe there should be space made for courses such as that.
Right. So part of the work that we could be doing in this unit is advocating for that, and even council advocating for that, on the basis of the fact that it sounds like at the end of it, what you would be is our ideal employees, because of the hundreds of social work and caseworkers that we employ, you would be ideal. And yet that's a rare thing in our complement of caseworkers.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one way of putting it. Another way of putting it is that the individuals would be workers for their communities.
Yeah.
And being able to have their lived experience be relevant, and being able to connect with a population that, are in need of individuals who understand exactly what it is that they're going through.
Right, so we've made the centers community-based.
Yeah.
We have the people in them community-based.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's an assignment for year 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Thank you.
I think so.
Any further questions? Thank you for coming down. Thank you.
Is it possible to have some of the young people?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Hi, I'm Stephanie Lynch. I live in the Rexdale community, and that young lady that I was speaking about is me. I give away prom dresses. I just want to speak on the program that I attended with CEE and how it changed my life. So honestly, when I started the program, I was really uninspired because I was doing all this stuff within my community, but I just didn't, I felt lost. So when I heard about the program that was going on, I applied, and then I got through, and honestly, it changed my life. I'm in a better place. I have more knowledge to what I can do, what I could access to help my community. I learned about all these grants that are just sitting there that I could just have access to and do things in the community for the young people, because I realized that there's a lack of a lot of stuff in community for Black young people. I'm literally at the point where I'm tired of just seeing Black young men in the community doing nothing. They don't have any they don't have anybody to just guide them or help them. So that's why I feel like there's always Black on Black crimes and all that stuff. So the fact that CEE got this grant and gave us this opportunity to do the social worker program, it's just putting me in a better place to let other young Black people know that there's an opportunity out there for them. Also, within the program, I did go to school for social work. I did not get the chance to finish it, but what I learned in the program, I learned way more than I actually learned in school. Half of the stuff I learned, I'm I did not learn this in school. So it was a really beneficial program, and it's awesome, and I encourage a lot of people to put it out there and get more young Black people to join this program, because it's amazing, and yeah.
Thank you, Stephanie. Is Aishan or Jordan gonna?
Yeah. So my name is Jordan. I recently graduated of CEE. I went to both of their programs. Pardon?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I love learning. I also went to school I went to U of T trying to be a social worker due to money and, being the systemic racism that we all live in. It was very hard to get my credentials, so CEE was amazing for me. I managed to learn everything I need to know without being in crazy amounts of student debt, so that's amazing. To talk back on systemic racism, I think that in large prevents a lot of young black youth from being able to do what they want to do. It's widespread. We all know that it's in the media, it's in our textbooks, in the news. What it also does is shows a picture of seeing predominantly black face doing criminal activity, doing nothing, just being athletes, and shows predominantly white faces in social work and professionalism and being lawyers, being doctors, things like that. So I think that CEE was a way to fix those faces, not fix them, but like mix up those faces and allow us to see a different kind of future. Right now, black youth are running around with extreme mental health struggles. There's a saying that says a troubled black youth goes to jail and a troubled white youth goes to therapy. I think that is huge to the fact of what we're trying to do with the social service program. CEE has actually empowered me to start my own mental health program, where it's about learning to love more and fear less in acts of self and community healing. It's going to run for black teenagers up to 34. Just in order for us, because we have a different culture, we learn different, and we really can't afford to go to these like $100 sessions of therapy run by faces that we don't see within ourselves, run by people that don't have our life experience, run by people that don't experience what we experience. It's just impossible. We're different people. I know everyone wants to say, I don't see color, what's with this race stuff, but honestly, I don't understand why we can't just admit that we're all different and applaud that. Make things different in order to make us all succeed, right? Because the playing field is not equal, and it's okay to say that. So CEE is there to equal that playing field. So I'm really grateful.
Thank you, Jordan. Aishan?
Hey, yeah, my name's Aishan. I'm also a graduate here at CEE. I'm not as well spoken as my mentor and my classmates, but just bearing with me as I articulate myself in the best way as I can. As a young black man in this society, it's kind of hard to navigate myself through life without encountering barriers and stuff like that. I was going through also multiple government-funded programs as well, and none of them really seemed to grasp me in the way that CEE did. Yao here beside me, he's a very loving and caring and very on-point individual, which I feel a lot of young black men need in their lives in our community. And he guided me through all the barriers I had during school, outside of school, and that really helped me. He changed my life. This program is wonderful. I'd recommend it to everyone that's trying to better themselves and trying to further their education in social working. They also have programs with cooking, and I'm very sure that they're developing other programs with other topics as well. I don't know what else to say, but this is like the best program I've ever been in. And it's like, I'd really recommend this, and I'd really like that if you guys look into it and, give us more funding.
Aishan, you took no back seat to any of you speak very well. Councillor Carroll, a question?
No, I have no questions.
You have no
because
questions.
Aishan actually did what every deputant should have said. Just give us more funding.
Thank you for coming down today. Thank you.
Thank you.